It's been a cold week in Tulsa, so let's first heat things up with a 1-2 punch. Then an odd place to be charitable thanks to a local business, followed by a view from above, plus a piping hot brew on a cold day. Hi, I'm Trish Whitmer. Stevie, where are you? Austin, we need you.
Huh?
Yeah,
What?
just come on. I'm pleased to introduce my new co-host, Austin Morton.
Thanks, Trish. I'm kind of known as the techie guy around here, but how cool that I get to step in and help host this great show.
I can't help but notice you didn't bring a chicken hat or a crash helmet or a banana cream pie or Coke bottle glasses
Sorry, that just doesn't fit me very well, but we can still have fun. We can start this week's show by meeting a couple of fun, yet rather serious dudes at the engine room.
Wait, so no gloves, nothing?
Golden Gloves is the tournament to be in. It's the advancing tournament. It's the one that takes you to that next level. So if you had to measure it to any other tournament out there, it holds a lot of weight, almost as much weight as being on an Olympic team, just because it has history behind it. The roots of Golden Gloves go back to all the great fighters that you can almost name. You know, they all started in the Golden Gloves.
Well, it's been, I think, since the 50s since we've had a state Golden Glove tournament here, or any kind of Golden Glove tournament here. So we're excited to bring it back. It's kind of a big deal to get back to us. Before, we just advanced straight from Oklahoma to a regional tournament, and from regionals we went to nationals. So we get a little bit of a rivalry this year. So we're going to do an Oklahoma state team, and then Kansas will do the same thing that we're doing here for their state tournament, and it'll be Kansas versus Oklahoma for the regionals. So we're hoping this is going to generate a lot of buzz, get the Oklahoma boxers excited. The Golden Glove tournament itself is an open tournament to anybody that's registered with USA Boxing. The Golden Gloves is an affiliate of USA Boxing, so they fall underneath the umbrella of USA Boxing, which does any amateur boxing in the entire country.
Well, everybody from the neighborhood used to box a lot outside. They would kind of, do a lot of fighting, just no gloves at first. But people I aspired to be like were some of the old school greats, like Ali, of course, he was a legend in boxing. You got new school guys like Floyd Mayweather who make it flashy and appealing and draw you in. But I really love the stories of a fighter like Rocky, guys that, it might be just a movie, a fictional character, but somebody can kind of stir the people to get up and go an extra mile. I would say that I'm somewhat similar to maybe a Thomas Hearns mixed with a pressure fighter like Evander. I like to come in. I like to be more stout now. Now that I've learned how to set down a lot of my power, I like the pressure a little bit more. So boxing doesn't always have to be, geared towards somebody who just came out of a bad environment or rough. Some people start boxing just to lose weight and then find out, hey, I'll just take a fight. Now I want to see if I can play. So it's almost like, you go and you practice on your jump shot. So now you want to go ahead and do a pickup game and see if you can actually make this work. So I mean, people have very different backgrounds for coming to boxing. That's the thing. It brings a lot of different people together.
Yeah, I think it kind of gets with everybody, and that's the point. We have a real tight-knit community inside the gym, and in boxing, it's a really tight-knit community. I mean, you can watch one of these amateur boxing matches, and the kids get in there and fight, or the young adults, and after it's over with, they hug each other and shake hands, and you're kind of bonded to that person for life after you've boxed them, and you kind of become friends with them. And if you get up to a certain level, you start seeing them at other tournaments and in other states. It's kind of a cool family effect. I mean, it's obviously rewarding to me, especially for the guys that I work with as a whole. We've been really fortunate with the engine room as far as developing a lot of high-level boxers. I'm trying to be a part of I'm vice president of Golden Glove Regionals, and I'm president of Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma now for boxing. So we're trying to spread some of the success we've had with the engine room throughout the state. So not just for our boxers here in Tulsa, but also in Oklahoma City and in the outskirt area. So it's exciting to me to bring all these fighters together and to give everybody more chances to compete.
It's just that sense of accomplishment, you know, because you put a lot of hours into this to be great, to be sharp. So much stuff goes on in the background, you know, that's where you know the separation has occurred, you know. And then once you're finally done, whether you won or lost, you know, all your hard work, that's the sum of it. So yeah, it can draw a lot of emotion.
Awesome to see Tulsa hosting a Golden Gloves event for the first time since the 1950s. Our thanks to Aaron and Jeremiah for showing us the ropes, like boxing ropes.
Hey, easy boy. You can see all the details you need for the Oklahoma State Golden Gloves Championship at engineroomboxing.com. After a night out at the fight sounds like a great time for a party. So let's head to the appliance store and see what party is happening there.
Maybe we'll let Tara and Linda explain that a little bit more when Explore Tulsa comes right back.
Gluten-free, organic, natural, whole grain, all words used by marketers to make you believe you're buying healthy food.
Even when the product isn't necessarily good for you.
But there's an easy fix. Instead of believing what's in front of you, turn it around and read the label. Find out what's really in the product.
Our goal is to eliminate sugars, grains, and breads from our diet. Start by eliminating sugar and grains one day each week.
Each day without sugar and grains is one day closer to a healthier you.
Visit our website to find our free glycemic index food chart to learn how specific carbohydrates affect your body.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Hello and welcome back for more Explore Tulsa. Now Austin, maybe instead of calling our next segment a party segment, we should say an event segment but in a rather unique place.
Exactly, Trish. Linda Johnson has a very cool job that she has created for herself right from the sales floor of an appliance store.
As Tara Duncan says, Linda is so good at building relationships. So while shopping for major appliances at Metro Appliances and More, the more just may be a, well, great big party.
Metro opened a gallery store down on Peoria in, I think it was 2005. And we opened with high-end appliances. And it was a great contemporary space. And so people kept coming in the store saying, this would be a great place to have a party. So I called my boss and said, could we start having some parties or some events here? And he said, well, try it out. We'll see how it works. It was a hit. Many people in Midtown use that appliance gallery, and most people that live in that area have fond memories of it. What happened there was how my job evolved.
Linda is our everything. She's our events coordinator. She helps with all of our advertising. She does so much and wears so many hats. And she is so good at building relationships and building friendships with people. And she's made such an impact on all of these charities that she's touched.
Charities started coming to me because they knew that I wasn't charging for the space, which is huge, because you're looking at a couple $1,000s for a venue right out of a charity budget. It's where Cooking for a Cause started. We had about 35 people. When we first started Cooking for a Cause, we did it all. We set it up, we served, we washed the dishes, we carried the trash out. And so we did it all, and it was a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun memories. But the great thing is now we can have 250 people at their event with 10 chefs.
Well, here at our store, we don't put all of our money and efforts into traditional advertising. We would rather host charity events and give back to charities, make an impact that way, and build relationships that way instead of doing traditional advertising.
If you have a party here at Metro, it's your party. We let you use our space. I like people that think out of the box, so it's fun when people use their imagination and do something creative. But actually, they came in, they either brought their chef or I could hook them up with a chef. So originally, none of the kitchens were live, so none of the product was live. So you couldn't turn a stovetop on to see what the burners were like, which is very important when you're buying to be able to see that. So they started getting all 10 kitchens ready, and I came over, and I have to tell you, I didn't know if I could transition over here and do the same thing that I was doing over there. And so, but it's worked beautifully. That's what's great about it. People start here with an event, and maybe it might be 75 people, but then every year it grows because it's so great to come and have the chefs and be able to give to charity. Again, this all works because there's people that are willing to give.
Kudos to Metro Appliances and More for being willing to think outside of the box a little and helping so many charities host their events.
There's an event coming up soon, and you can be included by visiting metroappliancesandmore.com/Tulsa. Now, when you see Linda or Tara there, be sure and tell them thank you for all their hard work.
Our next segment features a ride in the sky that is all business.
Fun and business as we fly the skies over Tulsa with Tulsa County helicopters when we return in a moment.
Hi, I'm Graham Oates with Video Revolution, and I'm going to show you some great sound systems for your home. So people actually want a great sounding system because they want to feel like they're in the movie. So they want to be able to hear vocal, you want to be able to hear if something's coming up behind them, and they actually want to be able to hear the low end from the subs.
Klipsch can put an orchestra in your living room or an entire rock concert in your cranium. Klipsch lets you live the music.
Klipsch is actually a high-end brand that gives you an entry level price-wise.
A 5.1 setup is the most common and effective home theater speaker configuration. The term itself stands for 5 full-range speakers, plus a subwoofer to handle the very low frequencies. The 5 speakers are arranged in the room to put you in the middle of the action. The sounds can then move to the different speakers so they follow the action on the screen. Handling the lower-end bass sounds is the subwoofer. It can be placed almost anywhere. In order to fully enjoy 5.1 sound with Klipsch passive speakers, you'll need an AV receiver. It makes sure the correct sounds are going to the correct speakers.
Your receiver is like your heart of your system. So everything feeds into your receiver and then it actually separates it from there. We carry the Yamaha brand. We have multiple different receivers in there.
Connect your favorite speakers to the receiver's discrete high current power amplifiers and experience the natural sound you have come to expect from Yamaha.
Yeah, we'll actually come to the house, we'll actually pre-wire the house for you, set everything up for you, program everything for you, and then we'll do you a nice walkthrough to make sure that you can actually understand everything that we have done for you. So if you're excited about sound, come and see us at Video Revolution and we will hook you up.
There's something so intriguing about watching, say, the helicopters that fly out of the Army National Guard base up near Owasso, all in formation, their blades thumping the air as they pass overhead, or looking for that single copter in the night sky you can hear but have to search hard to see.
Well, I'm gonna be a little honest and say that being in a helicopter makes me a bit nervous. Oh, unless of course that helicopter is piloted by Tulsa's own Chuck Dixon.
We never know what the phone call is going to be. You never know if you're going to get a phone call from a college coach wanting you to take him around on a high school recruiting trip, or somebody may call wanting to be picked up from their wedding and delivered to the airport. We get a lot of strange requests. 90% of the time we can make them happen. My first flight was actually in a helicopter in Branson, Missouri. My mother went with me on the flight, and I still have the picture of me standing beside the helicopter and the pilot there, and I got the later picture of me after my first solo in a helicopter. Well, I didn't get the opportunity to start flying in a helicopter until about 2006. And unfortunately, they're kind of pricey to train in, so it took me a while in life to get to the point where I could afford that. Basically, I had trained in airplanes prior to that and was just a little bit unsatisfied with the whole aviation experience. I needed another challenge, and the helicopter fit the bill. Yeah, that's a common misconception. Everybody thinks that you have to have an airplane license before you go to a helicopter. That's not at all accurate. You can start in the helicopter, and basically it's better to do so if that's what you're wanting to learn how to fly, because there are certain habits that you'll pick up learning to fly a fixed wing that are not real conducive to you while you're flying the helicopter. Well, we basically started the company as I got out of commercial flight school. I needed to find a way to keep flying, and there were no jobs around for a brand new commercial pilot. So we kind of just created one for me. Kind of started out that we would rent a helicopter and take it to large outdoor events such as Rocklahoma or Country Fever. And any place that we could find a gathering of people that may want to take a helicopter ride, we'd basically just take the helicopter, an easy up tent, and pitch out a sign saying we'll fly for $35 or $40 per person. And from there it kind of grew into needed something more stable for us to do. So we developed a few product lines such as our Tulsa Metro Tour, and then we started doing flight instruction. And then we started picking up some more commercial work with power line companies and natural gas companies. Well, this is the Robinson R44 helicopter, Raven 2 model. It was developed in the late 80s and early 90s. It's become the most popular civilian helicopter in the world simply because of the ease of the maintenance and the operation of it. It has a great visibility profile out of it. Each passenger has their own large window and they can see out. It's very comfortable inside. It's kind of an intimate setting for 3 passengers plus the pilot. And we have temperature control in there. We have air conditioning for summer. We have heat for winter. So it's a very comfortable way to go look around town or get from point A to point B. Yeah, we've taken Coach Gundy on some high school recruiting trips. We actually had Dr. Phil McGraw when he was in town. We have another NFL player that we're going to be taking up this weekend. Usually the joy on their face especially when they were scared of it before. You know, it was something that was a fear for them or a phobia. And whenever they get off the helicopter, that phobia is gone. It's not a problem in their life anymore, and they're usually excited to take the second and third ride after that. Sometimes it's privacy, sometimes it's just convenience. They want to be able to go from point A to point B without the hassle of traffic and want to be able to get back quickly.
Now, research actually shows that the chances of getting out of a dangerous situation is way greater in a helicopter than in any airplane. And knowing Chuck is piloting would make me feel so much more comfortable.
Find an excuse to fly and get in touch with Tulsa County Helicopters or visit their website, tulsaheli.com, to see what they can do for you.
Now, Austin, it's been cold, really, really cold, and I'm tired of it. But as everyone knows, I'm a little enamored with the dark, warm flavor of a great cup of coffee.
Here's to a great coffee and cold winter days, and warm pastries and great ambiance and a scenic overview and more coffee.
All right. Let me refocus, Austin, and we'll be right back with more Explore Tulsa.
Take charge of your health. We are what we put into our bodies.
We approach medicine from a unique standpoint. Rather than treating only the symptoms of an illness, we work to find the root cause and promote wellness of the entire body.
Our clinic offers complete assessment and treatment programs, including hormone replacement therapy, osteopathic manipulative therapy, and genetic DNA testing. It all starts with a medical evaluation.
Contact us today to begin your path to wellness.
At Video Revolution, the future is now. Behold the beauty of the new Sony 4K High Dynamic Range TV. A true view display producing real-world clarity and brilliant colors with Triluminous X1 technology. Step into the future for yourself at Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hi there. We're delighted you decided to stay with us for more Explore Tulsa.
While Tulsa has some great coffee houses, we found one at Riverwalk Crossing in Jinx that will make you want to hang around for a while. Owner Steve Williams introduces us to Robin's Roast Coffee overlooking the river.
It wasn't until I was in the service and everybody drank coffee, you had to just stay awake for the long hours. But there was one point, you know, in the craze of the fine coffee explosion, where I was working a late night and a friend had a bag of home roasted beans. And I, well, geez, I'd like some, you know, keep me awake, and bet you they taste pretty good. Well, I bought some, and I ended up going, boy, I bet you I could do better than this. They didn't taste real good to me. So that started my coffee venture as well over 10 years ago, and so I bought my first coffee roasting. It was a little tabletop coffee roaster, and started doing that, and it kept growing and spending more money. And so finally my wife told me, it's like, well, you either got to quit your hobby or start selling some coffee. We were fortunate that a local company took us on, and we began our commercial venture about 10 years ago. And what I found was you can have the best coffee, you can buy the most expensive coffee you have, but honestly, it's then customer, and that's what makes it right or not. Now, as a roaster, we try and bring out the best flavor of each particular bean, whether, you know, from whatever origin that we get it from, Sumatra, Mexican, Guatemalan, etc. We only roast when we get orders, so it's always fresh. We educate our customers, whether they're companies or just people walking in, you know, how a bean process works, the degassing, the flavor differences in it. But mostly it's just getting to know the customer's taste. And we can narrow that down to where they get really what they want, more than anywhere else. I've found that there's something else about roasting and this coffee business that I love and I'm very passionate about. It's where do we get our coffee beans from? We buy as much as possible coffees directly from farms. The reason that makes me so passionate about that is we get it from a company that sources it from women-owned businesses. The farms and farmers work extremely hard in very destitute locations, and I mean, they can work all day and pick beans all day for maybe $1. What happens a lot of times, they'll either need something to start their crop, or when their crop is over and they're ready to sell, people will hold off buying it. And so they get desperate, so they have to take a lower price. Our Nicaraguan coffee, we buy from El Recreo. They used to have 20 families, now they have 40 families living on their farm. Well, they built a schoolhouse, and that was the first time they had that. And it's not just for the people on their farm, but it's for their neighboring farmers. We support that, and we give them a very good price, so part of our money that we pay goes to help pay for that, and that's what we focus on. So when people come to us and they drink the Nicaraguan coffee, I hope that they know they're connected with that farm. You really just can't imagine how life is difficult for them. And so, if we can build up something that does help them, that gives meaning to us in this whole effort, and that's what keeps us going.
I'm always amazed at the skill of the baristas, and I really like the roaster being right there in the middle of the shop.
Robin's Roast Coffee is a wonderful place for a quiet cup with a book or a group meeting with delicious entrees to enjoy. Find them on Facebook and visit them at the Riverwalk Crossing in Jenks.
Stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
600 million people from over 238,000 miles away watched what no other person had ever done before. Neil Armstrong became the first man to step on the surface of the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Television brings us more than just entertainment. It brings us history. History that changes our lives. Sony and Video Revolution take you there, from space travel to world championships. Tomorrow's technology today. 4K smart TVs, and the largest flat screens available. Now more than ever, you have the best seat in the world when history is made. Video Revolution. On the northwest corner, 71st and Lewis.
Be sure and join us next week on Explore Tulsa when we explore the depths of the escape hatch in Bixby.
Special thanks to Aaron Sloan and Jeremiah Milton for bringing the Golden Gloves back to Oklahoma.
Thanks too to Linda Johnson and Tara Duncan for being so willing to help their community, and thanks to Chuck Dixon for showing us the skies over Tulsa.
Plus thanks to Steve Williams and all the baristas at Robin's Roast Coffee for an awesome cup of joe.
Remember, if you missed any of the show, you can also catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by and say hello to Ron and the guys for all your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value with 2 locations, 3016 South Harvard and 69th Memorial.
And we welcome our newest sponsors, Doctors Mark and Michelle Sherwood at 61st and Sheridan.
Remember, your journey to whole body healing and wellness begins with the Functional Medical Institute.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.